A prominent Chinese general under investigation for corruption has committed suicide, state media said on Tuesday, the latest development in a sweeping anti-graft campaign that has shaken the armed forces. Zhang Yang, a former member of the powerful Central Military Commission, CMC, was being investigated over links to disgraced generals Guo Bisheng and Su Keihao, the officials in Xinhua news agency said. The investigation into Zhang, 66, had verified that he gravely violated discipline, was suspected of giving and taking bribes, and the origin of a huge amount of assets was unclear, Xinhua said, citing the commission.
A suicide by an officer who held such a senior post is rare, though experts have said the frequency of officials from various levels of government taking their own lives may have increased as a result of the intensity of the corruption crackdown since President Xi Jinping took power 5 years ago. A commentary carried on both the Defense Ministry and military's official website said the CMC decided on August 28 to investigate Zhang, who had lost his moral bottom line and used suicide as a means to escape punishment from the party and country, an extremely abominable act. This former general of high position and great power used this shameful way to end his own life, the commentary said. He would exhort loyalty but be corrupt behind others' backs, a typical two-faced person, it said. Sources had told Reuters that Zhang, who had served as director of the military's political work department, had been subject to an investigation, but the government had not announced it. Zhang's downfall was foreshadowed in September when he failed to make a list of 303 military delegates to the ruling Communist Party's key 5-yearly Congress, along with fellow CMC member Fang Fenghui.
Both men were replaced at the Congress, held last month, as part of a sweeping military leadership reshuffle in which Xi installed trusted allies in key positions. China's military, the world's largest and undergoing an ambitious modernization campaign, has been an important focus of Xi's deep-seated fight against corruption. Serving and retired officers have said graft in the armed forces is so pervasive it could undermine China's ability to wage war. Dozens of officers have been investigated and jailed, including Su and Guo, both former vice-chairmen of the commission, which Xi heads. Su once ran the political work department, which is in charge of imbuing political thought and makes military personnel decisions, and along with Guo was accused of taking bribes in exchange for promotions. Guo was jailed for life last year. Su died of cancer in 2015 before he could face trial.
Authorities in North Korea have been shutting down telecommunication towers in the country's northern border areas and using equipment that can locate cell phone signals in a bid to flush out users of illegal mobile phones from China, according to residents of the reclusive nation. Sources in areas of North Korea close to the border with China told RFA's Korean service that since last month, authorities began temporarily shutting down local cell phone towers to uncover those using illegal Chinese handsets, which operate on towers located in China. From early November, cellular base stations along the Chinese border have been stopped very often, a source in North Hamgyong province, which neighbors northeastern China's Jilin province, told RFA on condition of anonymity. So I cannot use my cell phone, even though it is a domestic one, said the source, who is among North Koreans using legal phones that require signals from the local telecom towers to function. North Koreans regularly use Chinese cell phones to access telecom signals in border areas in order to make international calls and surf the internet via their handsets. Local phones are confined to the North's closed network as Pyongyang prevents the spread of information from abroad. The source said that authorities decided to close down the telecom towers temporarily after the tracking equipment they used had failed to detect the illegal cell phone users. The equipment could only pinpoint the location of a cell phone that has been receiving signals, but not the source of the signals.
Due to the uncertainty, the authorities had mistakenly raided a number of homes recently where legal phones had been used, as they were unable to determine whether the cell phone signals were originating from China or North Korea. He said authorities then decided to shut down the towers without any warning as only illegal phones from China could still receive signals while the North Korean towers were not operating. A source in Yanggang province, which also neighbors Jilin and China, confirmed to RFA that authorities along the border had recently stepped up efforts to detect illegal cell phones. Agents of North Korea's State Security Department go around by bicycle with cell phone detectors, the source said. It is hard to make calls in secret because of the intensified crackdown on illegal cell phones. The source said that in Yanggang's capital Haisan, which has an urban population of around 150,000 people, at least 3 different buildings including the Haisan Maternity Hospital have been outfitted with German cell phone detectors. Security agents with mobile cell phone detectors are also stationed in almost every village office, he said. However, sources told RFA that despite the increased monitoring, authorities had not had much success in locating illegal cell phones, as owners have largely stopped using them amid the campaign. People who have illegal cell phones use them seldom, if at all, due to fear of the crackdown, one source said.
Mitsubishi Motors, now acquired by Nissan, and now part of the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance, is currently in surplus condition with cash, and is planning to increase R&D expenditure on cars is expected to be more than 600 billion yen, $5.35 billion, over the next 3 years. Japanese car company plans to spend 5% of future revenue on R&D, and 5% on new equipment.
Of course, most of the new costs will be related to the plug-in electric cars, as well as the accelerated production of cars in China and Indonesia. Finally, it is possible that all hybrid SUVs that have been introduced by the company over the years will be put into production in practice. A portion of the investment is expected to be invested in some future Nissan Renault models. At this point in time, there are not any specifics on the huge investment plan outlined above, but we can be sure that the two PHEV Outlander hybrid cars and Cars I-MiEV will no longer be Mitsubishi's only electric vehicle in the market in the near future. To reinforce the plan, Mitsubishi will introduce an electric car SUV concept at the Tokyo Motor Show 2017. We have just heard about the Asian region. Our news came out. Thank you for watching and see you again.